Forget Elon Musk. One man owns 38 private jets. Another commands 700 billion in sovereign wealth. And one monarch, his palace is worth more than all of Central Park. While Silicon Valley fights over software updates, these kings move markets, own entire cities, and live in luxury that even billionaires can't replicate. They don't post on Twitter, they don't go public on NASDAQ, but they rule with oil, land, legacy, and silence. And what's hiding behind that silence will leave you questioning everything about modern power. At minute 11, you'll discover a royal secret so staggering it's never been aired on Western media. This isn't just old money. This is a whole different empire. Welcome to the world you're not supposed to see. Today, we're diving deep into the lives of the 7 richest kings still ruling today, not in fairy tales, but in skyscrapers, oil fields, and gold-plated jets. From Bangkok to Abu Dhabi, their fortunes rival the world's biggest tech moguls, but their power runs deeper, older, and often invisible. This video isn't just about wealth, it's about how royalty still dominates the modern world quietly. Absolutely, and with no exit strategy. No one, King Vajiralongkorn of Thailand. He doesn't run a startup, he doesn't speak at conferences, and yet he's richer than every tech billionaire alive. King Vajiralongkorn, also known as Rama X, holds a staggering fortune of $47 billion. That's not a typo. That's more than Zuckerberg, Gates, and Bezos combined. How he owns 38 private aircraft, including a $250 million Boeing jet, personally customized to function as a flying palace. He controls over 560 hectares of land across Thailand, plus an additional 10 square kilometers right in central Bangkok. Entire neighborhoods belong to him. Not rented, owned. His corporate power, even more intimidating. He holds 23% of Siam Commercial Bank and 34% of Siam Cement Group, 2 of the nation's most powerful and profitable companies. The annual dividend from just those holdings, billions. And when he's not flying or ruling from the throne, he's choosing from 19 palaces around the globe. His favorite Dusit Palace, a 700,000 square foot monument to Thai monarchy, blending traditional architecture with unapologetic grandeur. Cars think less garage, more royal fleet. Rolls-Royce Corniche, Maybach 62, vintage Mercedes, each ride whispering old world prestige with modern opulence. But this isn't just about luxury. This is about power without opposition. Vajiralongkorn doesn't just inherit wealth. He inherits a system built to keep him untouched. And here's the twist. Despite living under a constitutional monarchy, Thai law forbids any criticism of the king. He is, quite literally, above question. Would you trade your freedom for absolute financial immortality? But that's just the first king. The next one, he can afford to light a football stadium with chandeliers. No 2, King of Abu Dhabi. While the world debates tech IPOs, one man quietly manages $700 billion in national wealth, and barely anyone outside the Gulf knows his name. Meet the King of Abu Dhabi, a monarch so powerful. He doesn't just buy islands, he builds influence by the billions. His personal net worth, a mind-warping $30 billion. But that's just the surface. He oversees Mubadala Investment Company and the Abu Dhabi Investment Authority, 2 financial titans who collectively control $700 billion in global assets, enough to buy Apple, Netflix, and half of Silicon Valley twice. His residence, the Qasr Al Watan, also known as the Palace of the Nation, estimated at $490 million. It's not just a home, it's a statement, a fortress of marble, gold leaf, and chandeliers so massive they could light up a stadium. And when he travels, he does so aboard 2 Boeing 747s and a Boeing 787 Dreamliner, custom-built at a cost of nearly $650 million, inside bulletproof rooms, gold-plated bathrooms, and satellite command centers. At sea, he owns a $60 million super yacht, with $8 million in annual operating costs, more than most countries' health budgets. But here's what makes him terrifyingly unique. He rarely speaks, he rarely appears, yet his decisions shape oil prices, global investments, and the future of entire economies. Power isn't always loud. Sometimes It's quiet, strategic, and backed by 700 billion, and yet he's not even the flashiest monarch in the Gulf. That title goes to a king who bought the FIFA World Cup. No. 3. King Salman of Saudi Arabia. When oil prices rise, Wall Street watches his every move. Because King Salman doesn't just reign over a kingdom, he reigns over the world's most valuable oil company, Saudi Aramco. His personal net worth, an estimated $18 billion, but again, like most true power players, that's not the real number. The real flex. Saudi Aramco's valuation, 2 trillion, yes, trillion with a T, and King Salman holds the keys. His influence stretches from Riyadh to New York, from energy markets to diplomatic chessboards. If oil is power, then he's the plug. His private jet is a $200 million flying palace fitted with gold interiors, sleeping suites, and a mobile strategy room that rivals the Pentagon. On the ground, he commands palatial estates in Riyadh and Jeddah, surrounded by fleets of gold-plated Rolls-Royces, bulletproof limousines, and elite security that rivals entire armies. But here's the real twist. While King Salman holds the throne, real power flows through the House of Saud, one of the world's richest and most influential royal families, worth an estimated $100 billion collectively. And unlike most constitutional monarchies, Saudi kings don't just wave at parades, they rule, legislate, and steer the fate of 35 million citizens. In a world that worships democracy, here stands a dynasty where power is inherited, not debated, and yet he's not even the boldest spender in the region, the next monarch. He doesn't just live in luxury, he turned an entire nation into a marketing empire with a 220 billion receipt. No. 4. Emir of Qatar, the sports king. Most billionaires buy football teams. He bought the entire World Cup. Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, Emir of Qatar since 2013, owns a $2 billion personal fortune. But that's pocket change compared to what he controls. Behind the scenes, he commands Qatar Energy, a gas titan raking in $21 billion a year in net income. That's not wealth, that's leverage with global energy markets in the palm of his hand. And how does he spend it? Let's start with a $150 million mansion in London, right next to Regent's Park, camouflaged as a classic townhouse, but inside Versailles-level opulence. His $500 million super yacht makes headlines, gold fixtures, private cinema, spa, helipad. It's a floating kingdom, larger than a football field. His Boeing 747 jet, customized in Qatar's national colors, with anti-missile tech and luxury suites fit for royalty and world leaders. His car collection, worth $15 million, featuring Bugattis, Rolls-Royces, and rare concept cars most collectors dream of seeing once. But here's where it gets audacious. In 2022, Sheikh Tamim orchestrated the most expensive sporting event in history, the Qatar FIFA World Cup, costing a record-breaking $20 billion. This wasn't just about football. It was a strategic play to put Qatar on the global map through stadiums, media, and unmatched soft power. The twist, while the West debated politics, he changed Qatar's global brand overnight by weaponizing spectacle. And yet, despite the scale, he remains one of the Gulf's most reserved monarchs, because real influence doesn't scream, it just moves. Billions. But the next king, he doesn't chase the spotlight. He rules in silence with a $600 million yacht that never docks. No. 5, Sultan of Oman, the silent billionaire. No flashy headlines, no public scandals, just quiet power, wrapped in marble and oil. When Sultan Haitham bin Tariq took the throne in 2020, he didn't just inherit a title, he inherited control over one of the Middle East's most discreet yet resource-rich kingdoms. His personal wealth is estimated at $1 billion. But the real value, he holds a controlling stake in Petroleum Development Oman, a state-backed oil giant that generates up to $15 billion annually. And he doesn't show it off. He glides in silence. His $600 million super yacht, one of the most expensive in the Arab world, features marble staircases, multiple pools, and a private cinema, but don't expect to see it docked in Monaco. It rarely appears in public, because for Sultan Haitham, privacy is priceless. His residence, the Alalam Palace, over 200 years old. A majestic blend of Mughal, all in Portuguese design. It's not just a home, it's a message timelessness over trends. His travel fleet includes 2 Boeing jets, each worth over $150 million, customized with gold trim and security systems that rival Air Force One. But here's the real twist. Unlike flashier Gulf monarchs, Haytham is a reformer. He's pouring billions into digital infrastructure, foreign investment, and cultural restoration, reshaping Oman for the future while preserving centuries of legacy. He doesn't need viral moments or media campaigns, because in Oman, he is the brand. And while the world argues about new tech billionaires, Sultan Haytham is building old money power quietly, strategically, and on his own terms. But royalty isn't all oil and yachts. The next emperor. He lives in the most expensive residence on earth, but walks with the weight of 2,600 years of tradition. No. 6. Emperor Naruhito, the Quiet Empire. He doesn't flaunt cars. He doesn't fly gold-plated jets. But his home alone is worth more than any royal estate on the planet. Emperor Naruhito of Japan lives in the Imperial Palace, a 3.41 square kilometer fortress in the center of Tokyo, larger than Central Park. Estimated value $852 billion. Let that sink in. This isn't Buckingham. This isn't Versailles. This is the most expensive residence on earth, and yet, most people don't even know what it looks like inside. His personal wealth, modest in royal terms, around $100 million. But the Japanese government allocates another $100 million each year to maintain the palace, staff, and ceremonial duties. And when he travels, forget limos or Lambos. He rides in Toyota Centuries, 5 of them handcrafted, bulletproof, near-silent machines that reflect precision over pomp. No showy yachts, no splashy headlines. Because for Naruhito, the real currency isn't gold, it's legacy. He is the 126th emperor in the world's oldest continuous monarchy, a lineage stretching back over 2,600 years. His reign isn't loud, it's generational. While other royals dominate tabloids, he dominates time. And here's the twist. His subtlety is intentional. In Japanese culture, the emperor isn't a celebrity, he's a symbol of continuity, of calm, of an empire built not on oil or concrete, but on discipline and resilience. In a world obsessed with who shouts the loudest, Emperor Naruhito whispers, and the world still listens. But the next king, he's not about legacy, he's about volume in palaces, in power, and in sheer excess. And he holds the title of Africa's richest monarch. No. 7. King Mohammed VI, Africa's power king. He doesn't just rule a country, he runs a financial empire that spans continents. King Mohammed VI of Morocco, with a net worth of $5.5 billion, is officially the richest monarch in Africa. But titles don't capture the scale. Crowned in 1998, he transformed his role from ceremonial to corporate. Through his holding company, S&I Société Nationale d'Investissement, he holds commanding stakes in banking, insurance, real estate, tourism, and even agriculture. This isn't passive inheritance. This is active empire building. Let's talk indulgence. He owns over 600 luxury vehicles, including vintage Aston Martins, gold-plated Mercedes, and custom Bugattis, not displayed, stored in climate-controlled private museums. His $90 million Boeing business jet features plush interiors, gold detailing, and security tech straight out of a Bond film. At sea, he sails a $100 million super yacht equipped with a helipad, cinema, spa, and the capacity to host international dignitaries or other kings. And yet, he's not all glitter. King Mohammed is a modernizer. He's invested heavily in green energy, expanded Morocco's global reach, and led philanthropic initiatives in healthcare and education. But when he rests, he does so in one of 12 royal palaces, including the Royal Palace of Rabat, a sprawling estate with military barracks, mosques, royal courts, and gardens that could rival Versailles. And the twist, his wealth isn't just secured, it multiplies. Every business move, every real estate acquisition, Every sovereign partnership is designed not just to protect the crown, but to expand it. He's not just a king, he's a boardroom strategist in royal robes. And yet, for all his opulence, he's still overshadowed by the one monarch who towers above all, the man whose net worth rivals entire nations. He doesn't just sit on a throne, he owns the palace, the land it's on, and the bank that built it. At the very top of this golden pyramid sits a man who rarely gives interviews, barely appears in Western press, but quietly controls more wealth than most nations. King Vajiralongkorn of Thailand, 47 billion, 38 jets, 19 palaces. A throne passed down not just by blood, but by a system engineered to protect him from everything, including criticism. This isn't just money. This is monopoly on power, land, law, and legacy. And here's the real twist. While the world obsesses over tech billionaires and media moguls, royalty never left. They just got better at hiding in plain sight. The palaces are bigger, the portfolios are deeper, and the thrones, they're no longer made of gold, they're made of control. So ask yourself, who really rules the modern world? So which king shocked you the most? The silent emperor in Tokyo, the oil tycoon in Abu Dhabi, or the monarch who owns half of Bangkok? Would you trade your life for their throne? Tell us in the comments we're watching. And if you think this is peak luxury, wait until you see how Dubai's richest family lives. That video makes these kings look humble. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe because royalty never goes out of style.